This is Beyond the Big Screen podcast with your host, Steve Guerra.
Here is another Beyond the Big Screen teaser for episodes coming soon. I hope you enjoy and definitely tune in for the full episodes. If you want to learn more, you can head over to beyondthebigscreen.com. You can support Beyond the Big Screen on Patreon and Subscribestar. By joining on Patreon and or Subscribestar, you can help keep Beyond the Big Screen going and get many great benefits. Benefits include advertisement-free content, bonus content, and early access. The bonus content is great too. I will feature outtakes from episodes and live streaming episodes. If you join at the executive producer level, you will become just that, an executive producer of Beyond the Big Screen. You will be able to develop ideas for upcoming episodes, help find great guests, and of course have your name mentioned at the beginning or end of each episode. You won't just be a supporter, you will be a critical member of the team. Go over to patreon.com/Beyond the Big Screen or subscribestar.com/Beyond the Big Screen to learn more. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, send me an email to my email address, steve@a2zhistorypage.com, or follow us on social media by searching for A2Z History. I will see you next time Beyond the Big Screen. Well, maybe before we get started, can you give us a really quick overview of Nicolas Cage's career and background, and then we'll dive into your list?
Yeah, so Nicolas Cage, he's part of the Coppola family. That was actually Nicolas Coppola was his name. I believe Francis Ford Coppola was his uncle, who's a famous Hollywood director. He's done probably most famous for Apocalypse Now, and he changed his name to Nicolas Cage. Just I think like two reasons. He wanted to get away from the Coppola name, and it just sounds cool. Nicolas Cage. It's a cool sounding name, and yeah, so initially when he got into acting, he did like a combination of like different things. So he would do like small, like kind of independent in spirit movies, stuff like Raising Arizona, Birdie, Vampire's Kiss. And then he would be in like big Hollywood movies too. Probably most famous is Moonstruck, the one that he did with Cher. This is like the first stage of his career. And then it reaches its end point when he does what I would say is his best movie, Leaving Las Vegas, which is like a really small independent movie. It was made in like a month on like a $2 million budget. And then he hits big with that movie, wins an Oscar. And then he starts doing big budget action movies. This is probably people around my age probably are most familiar with him. He does like movies like Face Off, The Rock, Con Air, and this continues on for like a little while, and then he has a couple of ones that don't do so good at the box office, and then he finds himself in some financial trouble from my understanding, so he starts taking like a bunch of movies, and this is like considered like the low point of Nicolas Cage's career. I believe it's like you could say like from 2010 to like 2015, where he's just doing stuff that's like straight to DVD and straight to streaming. And we can get into like his philosophy behind that later. And then he's slowly kind of had a career resurgence in the last couple of years, doing independent movies again, stuff like Mandy, Pig, Color of Space.
And I tried to look at the story, and there really is a complex story to this movie. And you could take that, like you said, with Gondor and with Lord of the Rings, you could take this and plug this into any other setting, and the core of the story would work.
Totally. Yes, 100%. Yeah, it's the fighter, and the thing about the fighter jockeys is that they're basically modern knights, right? Like grunt troops, right? They're part of a unit. that has to be super well organized, and it's less about individual heroism. It's more about the unit. We see stuff in World War II movies about individual heroism, and even more modern ones, but it's just like very operational, very tactical, very like stay organized, stick to the plan, thing. Whereas like with dogfighting, right, you get this chaos up in the air where the individual actor makes a lot of decisions. They're surrounded by, they're again, like the knights of yore, they're highly trained. We spend a lot of money on their equipment, their weapons, and they're there to really make the difference in battle. If you think of a wider battle, the Air Force really makes a big difference. They are knights, and they're the big expensive guys who turn the tide of battle and are taught. They go to Top Gun. They go to this school to be the best pilots, the best individual pilots, because this individual dogfighting capacity can make such a difference. They even mention at the beginning of their time in Miramar that at the school that during Vietnam, our kill ratio fell from 12-1 to 3-1 because we basically stopped dogfighting. We started depending on missiles, and we would just fly the plane.